up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse. I'm Robert and Ryan. I am J-Man. In this edition of the Pulse, we're giving you guys our WWE Elimination Chamber 2015 review. Really looking forward to this show, all of us. That was pretty much unanimous. Pretty much ended up becoming, you had your moments here and there, things happened, the championships, the chambers, but this really came down to one 25-minute segment of just epicness, and we will get towards that in the middle of this card. Kicking everything off, we had the pre-show, an unannounced match with Stardust and Zack Ryder. Whatever. Stardust won. Zack Ryder had 2 matches in a week. That's pretty insane. I haven't seen that since 2010. Not saying I want more of it, but I'm just saying that's what happened. We had Miz TV with Daniel Bryan. Really the only notable thing happening out of this was Daniel Bryan, coming out there, and we were wondering if he was going to talk about the injuries, this or that, and saying that it's Miz basically saying that his career is over to any extent. And Daniel Bryan saying, no, it's not. I will be back in the ring, no doubt about it. So that's good to see. Hopefully we can, believe in everything that Daniel Bryan believes in, that he will be back in there and get healthy and heal up for all these injuries. And
Mega Powers.
The Mega Powers came out, whatever. That happened. So, but yeah, good to see Daniel Bryan out there. We saw him later in the night too, and we'll get to that. But the first matchup on the official card, we had Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Tag Titles, making some history here with the first tag team Elimination Chamber here. We had the New Day, Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, Primetime Players, Lucha Dragons, The Ascension, and Los Matadores.
Yeah, this was a really fun match. It's kind of how I thought it would be. They did some, all kinds of different spots and had, Kalisto. Did I keep saying Kalistio?
Kalistio. You're wanting to add more syllables
Kalisto. Doing a crazy spot where he fell from the center, but
kind of fell flat.
Yeah, kind of fell flat. I thought maybe he was going to do a flip.
He couldn't flip it quite right.
Yeah.
I mean, we really can't say much. We would all die if we were up there.
Yeah, that's real life.
Speak for yourself. I would.
But this was cool. They had all these teams in here get a little bit, do some spots and different things. I think the only team that really didn't get a nudge on this was the Matadors. I don't really think that they have any reason to be. I mean, you probably could have just put the Mega Powers in here instead of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they do some high flying stuff. I think the best part of them being in the match was the Torito.
Torito.
The bull.
Little bull. He did some cool
Tostitos.
stuff. He did it off the top of the pod.
Hurricane Rana
to Cesaro, which was hilarious.
Awesome.
It was awesome. He climbed to the top and fell off, or like part of the cage or part of the chamber or whatever.
He's got long darted onto him, I think, too. Like,
I
think the Ascension caught him and then just
long darted him
just right onto Los Matadors.
Big thing out of this match also, the Ascension got 2 pins. Got 2 pins on 2 teams. I wish I could remember who they pinned.
Matadors and Dragons.
Dragons, yeah. So they pinned both them, and then the Primetime Players got 2 pins. And then it got down to the Primetime Players and the New Day. And I don't know how I feel about having all 3 members in there. It just seemed kind of like
stupid.
Not really stupid, just kind of unneeded. Like, I mean, I guess they couldn't agree. Maybe they could just they tried to do a thing where they locked Woods in one of the pods, but he ended up getting out. And more of it was just a numbers game. But they took all kinds of crazy spots in this match. It was just a spot fest match, and I think it'd be interesting for them to do another chamber match like this with teams. Cesaro and Kidd were great. They obviously, I thought it would get down to them, and maybe they would take the win on this. But the New Day retaining here, more than anything, just kind of a fun opener match, spot fest style match. And if you have tag teams like this, you actually have tag teams like we haven't seen over the last several years. You have this many teams, you can start doing matches like this and having those ladder matches and stuff like that again, which I think would be a great idea to get these guys some exposure. But yeah, the New Day getting the win here, retaining the titles, and still being epically ridiculous. I guess is the best way.
They are indeed. And pretty good opener there for the show. New Day retaining the tag titles. Next up, we had a triple threat matchup for the Divas title with champion Nikki Bella, my girl Paige, and Naomi. This was all right. Your kind of predictable things that you could really see out of this. There's a lot of stuff going over the past couple of weeks where you could kind of think that maybe Naomi would get the win here and get a title run with the kind of heel run that's not working at all because she's just too
Heel?
nice. She's too nice, Naomi, trying to be heel. Great to see Paige in there. She took actually a couple of nasty spots here. I think they did like a reverse Rana spot in this. I think Naomi did to Paige, and I'm like, oh god, don't kill her. They did like a
Almost
Tower of
that
Doom
close.
type spot where Paige is on top of it, and but just continuing to roll with Nikki here. Just the fucking super long ass title run that she's had with Divas title, starting out heel, now face, and having Brie come out and celebrate and all this and that. So who knows where the hell the future goes with the Divas division. Who knows if maybe they continue to have really the total diva really as far as the Divas Championship goes. Who maybe we see an invasion-y type thing with some of the NXT talent where it's just women's wrestling maybe coming up into the forefront and taking out the total divas and this and that. I think that'd be kind of an interesting angle to heat up the Divas division. Maybe have a couple talent from NXT come up and say, you know what, enough of this diva bullshit. Let's have women's competitive wrestling, come back to the forefront. I think that'd be kind of cool to see that. But Nikki continuing her run there as Divas champion. Holy shit. Next matchup, we had the champion versus champion match with the NXT champion Kevin Owens going up against the United States champion John Cena. You could just feel as soon as the promo started, the entrances happened, the square off, in the middle of the ring. You could feel how epic this was. You could feel it was something special. And as I've said, and we talked about, in the preview about Kevin Owens not being a character, he's just a guy. He's a dude out there that's, not going to technically wrestle your ass. He's not going to flippy flop, do any type of shit like that. He's going to go out there and does what it says on his pants, what it says on his shirt, what it says on his Titantron, what he says. He's going to go out there and just fight. That's what he is. He's a fighter. As he says, he's a prize fighter that fights for championships, fights for money. And, I think that's an absolutely perfect way to book Kevin Owens, because you're not going to be able to book him any other way that you can do with any other type of guy. That's what he is. He says what he is, and he goes out there and delivers exactly what he says. This was outstanding. This was everything that we thought this could be, and then some. I think a lot of us thought that it was kind of a precursor of what we could see into the future with these guys, and kind of a taste of what we could eventually get out of this, maybe in a long, sustained feud in the next couple of years. But we got the full shebang out of this matchup. This was outstanding, and it really had that feel like we were talking about at the beginning of it and throughout of a match with John Cena and a CM Punk. It had that feel because CM Punk and Kevin Owens are cut from the same cloth. They're identical as far as they're just guys. They don't play characters. They're not, flashy. They're not this and that. They're just guys out there just doing what they love and doing what they're, made to do, which is to be a professional wrestler. And this is great. The chemistry of it, it's always worked with the John Cena. An indie guy and that goes in there with the John Cena, it just always works. It worked with Punk. It's worked with Bryan. It worked with Sami Zayn. It worked with Neville. Any Ambrose. Any name you want to throw in, Rollins. Any name you want to throw in there that's been, the quintessential indie guy to throw in there with a quintessential WWE mainstream guy, John Cena. He just works flawlessly with them. He knows how to meld his style and into a match that just produces great chemistry. And what we can always say about John Cena, if you say nothing else about him, he always brings the big match vibe and the big match feel to every single one of his matches. No matter who his opponent is, it always has that big feel to it. And this had that. Like I said, it just felt so much like something we saw in the past with the Punk and the Cena, and how much we were striving to have that type character back that we miss so very much with the CM Punk that is real and that doesn't give you bullshit. And that is Kevin Owens. And it's just such a bright, fucking vibrant thing to see now on this roster current day with the Kevin Owens. And to go, cherry on top, having Kevin Owens go over in this fucking match is unbelievable.
Clean.
I mean, it was unbelievable. Clean. Right in the middle of the ring. Powerbombed his ass and planted him. Right in the middle of the fucking ring. 1, 2, 3. No bullshit. No shenanigans. Nothing throughout the match that was bullshit. Nothing throughout the match where Kevin Owens had to cheat for anything, where he had to do heelish type tactic things. He didn't do anything. He went out there, he fought John Cena, and he beat John Cena. As he said at the end during that promo, I started a fight with you, and I finished the fight with you, and I came out on top. And now the champ is here, because your time is up and my time is up. I mean, it was just booked flawlessly. I mean, you cannot do it any other way. It was just absolutely flawless. They did everything right. The work was great for not having any sort of idea of what the work rate was going to be with these two. We got everything and then some out of these two. It was outstanding, and it was great to see. It put over Owens, it put over every single guy in NXT, and it put over NXT as a whole, and it put over the future. And that's one big thing that we were talking about at the end of this matchup, which was John Cena is now in the role that we have been waiting so long to get him in, which is to start to put over the younger talent. And that's what stage John Cena is starting to get into his career. We've seen the 15-year career now, whatever the case may be, with a John Cena, where he's built up all these wins, all these championships, all these times where you think he's not going to be able to get the win or not going to be able to do this, and barely gets gets anybody over on him ever. That's why it's so great to see this moment. I mean, we're freaking out like we just saw the return of some fucking epic person or something, super epic happening by just seeing somebody get pinned 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, because that's how hard it is to get somebody over on John Cena. We were thinking the last time we saw it was SummerSlam, I think 2013 with Daniel Bryan. That was the last time I remember seeing John Cena clean, no bullshit, get pinned 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. That was 2 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, that we have seen this man get pinned 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the goddamn ring. So this is fucking awesome. It sort of came out of nowhere, but yet it had to feel like it was building to possible Owens win here. Booked flawlessly, can't say anything else about it. Hope they continue everything they're doing here with Kevin Owens, because you can't find a more deserving guy. So the NXT champion, Kevin Owens, getting the victory over United States champion John Cena in this fucking classic.
If you didn't know who Kevin Owens was before this match, now you know who he is. If you knew who he was, that's what made this match so epic, because we knew who he was. We've seen him, in the indie circuit. We watched him in a 150-seat gymnasium, and here he is facing John Cena in his first WWE pay-per-view match. Beyond epic. It was just, the promos have been good. This match was just off. I mean, it was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be great, and it was even better than that. These two guys were able to, for however they did it, they have chemistry already with match 1. Not too many guys can go in there and get chemistry with a veteran like John Cena and get over on John Cena. Clear pen. It was unbelievable. You figured something had happened to get DQ'd or whatever, and they've already announced a rematch at Money in the Bank for these two. So obviously this feud's continuing. Owens is on the main roster now with the NXT title. The sky's the limit for this guy. He's just amazing, the moves that this guy can do, the promos he cuts, and just like he said in the ending promo, I've been doing this 15 years, longer than John Cena. So it's like finally he gets his shot at being that guy. And whatever Triple H decided to look at these indie guys, thank you.
Yeah, no, it was interesting at the end of this match. He gets on the mic and says, Cena, let me give you some veteran advice.
Awesome.
It was awesome, and two guys like a Cena and a Kevin Owens, obviously they've it's not like they've only been wrestling for 5 years and then they just get in the ring. Sometimes people just don't have chemistry, but sometimes you've been wrestling for a long time and you're just your craft. You can work with somebody, or you can pull a match out of somebody. And this was outstanding. This was so much better than I thought it was going to be. I never in a million years thought they would just let Kevin Owens win. Get a clean win on John Cena, the NXT champion, the promotion under the major promotion. To me, that makes me just think in my head, oh wow, a Ring of Honor guy just beat a mainstay Hulk Hogan. They're going with that mindset for the future, and you feel the electricity from the crowd when you have these kind of guys lock horns with each other in a match, because you can see okay, I've seen what this guy's done in the indie scene. I know what John Cena's done leading up to now. It's a fresh face with a guy that knows how to work, and I know we've talked about Kevin Owens and how he deserved this match and this win and him to be on the main roster. But 5 years ago, whatever, maybe even 3 years ago, I would have never sat here and said, John Cena is an incredible wrestler. And he has become one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, in my opinion. There's no way you like even if you can't stand him as a person, him in the ring, like it just doesn't matter. He just works with anybody. Like he brings that feel, just like J-Man said, and he can just work. Like he has the stamina. He can have good matches. He's always had an awkward wrestling style, but he always has great matches. And the things he's doing now as a U.S. champion and leading up, like he's in the part of his career like where he could probably do no wrong. He could get in there and just wrestle any young guy, any main event guy.
He's doing it every week.
Right, every week.
With the open challenges.
Every week. So like, Owens gets the credit on this win. He's on the main roster. It solidified him as a guy. He doesn't have to come in there and just, build his way up. He's there.
He's already on top.
He's already where he needs to be. Yep. That's something that took a Bray Wyatt a while. Has Bray Wyatt ever beat John Cena clean? No. Has Rusev, who they just had a strained out long feud. Rusev hasn't got a clean win.
It wasn't clean.
Cena passed
like
out,
I said, the
right.
only clean win I can remember, 2013, 2 years ago with Daniel Bryan, who was as hot as you could ever find a fucking person.
Yeah.
And having Owens do that right off the bat. Amazing.
Yeah, it's something that needed to happen. It was fresh for the scene.
Imagine a promo.
It was great for the pay-per-view. It was the match quality, like, going out there and just proving, hey, I can do this. I can get in there with a guy like that and be like, okay, you don't know me from WWE. You don't know me from NXT for the short amount of time I've been there. Like, I'm going to show you what I'm about, and don't have to. This to me opens the door for independent guys who've been busting ass for 10 years to just come in and not have to worry about just trying to wait their turn and to build up. Like, fans aren't stupid. They know who these guys are. They know who a Seth Rollins and an Ambrose are. They know
Joe.
And Samoa Joe getting that jump maybe. They have plans for him to do all kinds of weird, dates, and he's not officially on their roster, but bring him in to just do random things, and like the fans know who he is. The fans know who Kevin Steen are. Like, they know these guys. So this match was outstanding. It's a close call for being maybe the best match they've had this year with that triple threat at
it's
Rumble.
really close with the
It's
Rumble
close.
triple threat.
It's close. The moments for both of those were great, and I don't know. It's just one of those matches you don't expect, and it really surprises you, and I'm glad that there was no shenanigans and it was that clean win. It was something that I didn't expect, so it was awesome.
Not to mention everything that helped this, which is something that we neglected to mention. Everything that Kevin Steen brought out, it was all Kevin Steen. I mean, everything you saw out there, the moveset was all. It was literally, you just took a transplanted Ring of Honor guy that busted his ass, like Ryan said, for years and years and years on indie scene. And not working finesse-type matches, by the way. He's working stiff shit. He's working shit that beats his body up. And that style, that springboard moonsault, just a total nod to El Generico. And just had to be blowing minds. And we were sitting there like, oh yeah, that's Steen for you. We expect it. And
it was normal.
And it just blowing people's minds. And the swantons and that neckbreaker spot off the top rope. It was just total Kevin Steen, total John Cena, and produced an absolute total classic.
The people who didn't know Owens, or they just watched the casual, hey, I know John Cena, and then he gets the win. You see a crowd shot of kids and older people who this guy I've only seen for 2 weeks on television just beat John Cena
clean 1, 2, 3
in 20 minutes, like a 20-minute match, and John Cena attitude adjusted.
FU, it's on the show.
Either way, attitude adjusted twice or whatever, and then like hit him with a bunch of spots, leg drop spot, springboard stunner, several different positions where he would have beaten a guy on the main roster and be kicked out. So it was great. It was great that they did this, and it was well needed, and it wasn't something that they just needed to bring in a new guy and just start him at the bottom and build his way up. To me, I think the process is just making it, the NXT title, having him just be on the show and it just be like a workhorse, I'm going to beat you up kind of thing. And I love it. I think it's great. I think it's good for
and I think another big thing as far as Steen goes, or as far as Owens goes, and his moving up to the main roster, it speaks to what NXT does for the WWE. It speaks to how important it is. It speaks to how it helps the talent. You gain a very cult-like feel that normally you would have to, have a guy bust out like a Punk or a Bryan, where they didn't have an NXT to kind of make rumblings within WWE and within the casual fan base to then move on up to the main roster. They had the rumblings of all, of us, of all the independent fans that, knew them before they got there, then got signed, then had to work their ass off like a Punk did through ECW, and then through all the bullshit he had to go through, and then finally getting his chance. You're talking 5 years after he finally got into the fucking, into the business, or not the business, into WWE is what I was trying to say. But that's what it speaks for, what NXT does for WWE. Having that cult-like feel for their secondary roster and their talent pool, or whatever you want to say, to kind of make rumblings, and then have WWE slightly get over things here and there. Oh, there's this special. Go check it out. It's on WWE Network. You got WWE Network. It's what we're seeing. It's the future of the company, this and that. So you have that fan base, and then you start to get those casual fans that come on and see this and there about what's going on there, and then you have this guy come up, and you have the casual fans now feeling like they're us whenever we, saw CM Punk come in, or whatever we saw Daniel Bryan come, like, oh shit, this Kevin Owens guy, I've been seeing him on NXT, he's finally gonna come up, and now he's doing something with John Cena. It's gonna blow people's minds, and like these people don't even know who Kevin Steen was before he was even in WWE. So I think it really speaks to what NXT does to WWE in a whole, and
what if they have Cena show up on an NXT show?
NXT, that'd be great. Yeah,
Cena show up on an NXT show, that'd be insane.
Yeah, that would be
maybe Cena comes in and cost Owens the title.
Anything,
Whoever,
just some sort of cross promotion type thing to see that, and again, it just elevates NXT and it elevates all the talent there. So this couldn't have been booked any better, couldn't have went any better, and Kevin Owens getting a massive win over John Cena here. We cannot get over how big this is, because it is fucking huge. So great to see that, and an outstanding matchup there. So where do we go to next after that? It kind of just was like a lull point after that. Everybody was just, that the crowd was dead. You could feel it.
Burnt the crowd out.
It really knocked the wind out of everybody, because it just caught everybody off guard. It was like, holy shit. I knew it was going to be good, but not that fucking good. Next matchup, we had the man in the Gravity Forgot, the new sensation Neville. I just got to get all those out. Going up against Bo Dallas. Robert, you want to talk about this?
Coming away from that match of the night, possibly match of the year, Bo Dallas and Neville didn't have a chance. Bo Dallas comes out with his old Bo Leave character, and he needs to Bo leave.
It's a good one, Robert.
Yeah. And get the hell out. But it was a typical Neville match, just him hitting his little spots, him doing the red arrow at the end, getting a victory, moving on, hopefully from this feud or whatever you want to call it he's been doing with Bo Dallas. Nothing special, just, Neville being Neville and getting over. Unfortunately, the crowd was burnt out, so nobody really kind of cared. Of course, we were eating at the same time because, food was ready at the beginning of the Owens-Cena match.
We didn't move. Didn't move for 20 minutes. But yeah, Neville obviously getting him over here, not really anything else you're really seeing out of that, but continuing his good run after coming up from NXT onto the main roster. We need to mention on a little side note, because I have to mention it. This was around the point where they start to show little teasers and little things for that commercial typey things for WWE Network. Tomorrow night on WWE Network after Raw, they have the Stone Cold podcast with Paul Heyman. Don't really need to tell you guys to check that out, because obviously I am going to be glued to the fucking screen to see what's going to be going on there, because that should be some great stuff. So obviously check that shit out. If you did not watch the show tonight, don't know about that podcast coming up tomorrow after Raw, if you have the WWE Network, that should be probably the best one yet.
If not, go get the WWE Network.
Yeah, because it's worth it probably just for that goddamn interview, and it was for tonight and fucking Owens and Cena. You got to see it for fucking free. So holy shit to the people that just kind of, I guess I'll go ahead and get this and then see that classic. But so that airing tomorrow after Raw, I'll definitely be checking that out. Should be some really good stuff with Austin and Heyman there. Next matchup, we had the Elimination Chamber match for the vacant Intercontinental title. This one had Rusev in it. Rusev being taken out of it due to an injury suffered on SmackDown. We saw it. I actually don't even remember it. I watched the whole goddamn. No, I mean I remember it, but I remember what happened to him. I was watching SmackDown, fast forward right through, and didn't ever see it.
Yeah.
Getting thrown out of the ring and fracturing his foot. Put some fucking boots on. That's all I gotta say. Wrestling with no goddamn boots on. I mean, that's where you go. The character, and it's probably not him doing it. He probably has wrestled with boots in his fucking past, wherever the hell he came from. But
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. Forgot. Thanks, Robert. Thanks. Didn't know he's from Bulgaria. Thought it was Russia. But
He's from Minnesota.
He's probably from fucking.
He's from Utah or something.
Fairbanks, Alaska.
Arkansas.
There, he's from Arkansas. There you go. But now, so Rusev suffered that injury. Should be interesting to see what goes on with that. I know they had a lot of stuff set up with Rusev and Ziggler and Lana and all that kind of stuff going on. They had Lana on the pre-show taking questions, and I don't know what that was, doing her best fucking try to act impression. But yeah, so him not being in this, so we had a mystery kind of person being in, thrown into the Elimination Chamber matchup on the pre-show. Booker T said it was a
Mark Merrill?
It wasn't Mark Merrill, unfortunately.
Johnny Brad?
No. Saying it was a former world champion. So obviously Mark Merrill doesn't fit that. Unfortunate.
Diamond Dallas Page?
It was not Diamond Dallas Page. He did not do some yoga inside of the Elimination Chamber. It was Mark Henry, as I can't remember who picked it, either Ryan or Robert, one of the two.
With me.
Thinking it could possibly have been like a Big Show or a fucking...
I was praying for Randy
I don't
Orton.
even know who else maybe Randy Orton. But then again, you're going to see those bigger, talented guys that are, names and stuff like that. You're not going to throw them in there, and then if they're not going to win, you're not going to, shit on them. But unfortunately, he probably would have made this better. Unfortunately, it's just, So we had Ziggler, Sheamus, King Barrett. Sure, it's King. Mark Henry Ryback, and R-Truth. We had Daniel Bryan out there. Unfortunately, had to sit and watch this like all of us, and had to watch it up close and personal with his former Intercontinental title sitting next to him. How depressing this probably situation all was for Daniel Bryan. Not only have to sit there not being able to compete due to injury, not being able to be Intercontinental champion before, and having to see one of the worst, if not the worst, Elimination Chamber matches we've ever fucking seen.
Worst ever.
I mean, it's up there with the fucking ECW one, because it was fucking bad too. This just didn't work. Again, it was kind of the lull period after the Cena Owens match. It dragged ass. It was just kind of there. And it didn't. One thing I have to say, which is something we always talk about, something I always have to mention, is the... What was the word I used? We used a really good word of it. Just the watered down nature of the Elimination Chamber and the overuse of it when it's supposed to be something special. Just like the Hell in a Cell, just like, specialty type matches are, with all these gimmick pay-per-views, all these gimmicks you see here and there and everywhere throughout the year. Nothing is ever built towards it. It's always built, around a time period of the fucking year that you have to have these Elimination Chamber matches. And having it to where you have had so many of them now, when it should be a spectacle and something, a special type feel, you don't get that anymore with the amount that we have seen, done so far. So that's really one thing that that really goes towards when it's not a quality Elimination Chamber. It's something that definitely has to be said about, why it isn't. Because the overuse of the gimmick when it should be something used for special type things. I mean, it should be a spectacle. It should be something that is few and far between and not something that you get every single fucking year at exactly the exact same time. It just didn't really flow well. I think having Rusev taken out of this at the last second, I really think kind of screwed up the booking maybe of how they had this match going. You would think a Rusev would be there towards the end. So having Henry in here, it was just it just didn't work. None of the chemistry worked. It was just splotchy. The spots weren't ever set up right. It was all fucking weird. He had the shit with Sheamus and his fucking necklace shit and the damn the chamber hiding him in there when he's the dude that's just all about whooping ass, and he's hiding himself in there with his can't get in there with all these hard asses. So finally coming out, and I don't even know how the fucking finish of this went. Something. Ziggler got pinned and looked like a bitch, and what's new. Something. All these other guys got eliminated, and it came down to Sheamus and Ryback. And Ryback beat Sheamus. They've been building him up. Ryan was saying, I was like, it could go to Ryback. And I'm like, I hope you're wrong. And he wasn't. And Ryback, the new Intercontinental Champion, he's a workhorse. That's why we give him that workhorse title. And having Daniel Bryan endorse the big guy. You know what? All these guys really inspire me.
Hey,
and you're
I'm smelling it, dude. I'm smelling it.
Shit?
No, I'm smelling.
What are you smelling?
I'm smelling mania. I'm smelling it.
You're smelling mania?
I'm smelling it.
It's on your fingers?
It's on the tip of my... Well, that's barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
for sure. But also mania.
Also mania.
I'm smelling a Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior. I'm
Sheamus
smelling a Brock Lesnar versus Ryback champion versus champion match.
Sheamus got screwed. That's all I'm going to say.
We have to say that for Miss Kristen because she was extremely upset.
But she was very happy that Ryback won.
Was she?
No, she wasn't?
No, she wasn't happy.
Okay.
She was very not happy.
Oh, she was throwing things. That's right.
She wanted to. She had a remote. It went
No,
through
she
my
did
TV
throw
probably.
something.
But yeah, getting the endorsement
something?
for Daniel Bryan, saying, you know what, this guy is the man, guy. You know what? Here you go. Here's your title. And Ryback, you know, you're
From the bottom of my
you're
heart.
an inspiration to all these fans, and you're an inspiration to the big guy. I'm like, thank you. That means a lot to Mr. Back.
He calls him Dan.
So
Not
Dan.
Dan.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
American Dragon, Dan Bryan. That's solid. So Dan holding the IC title off to Mr. Back, and this clusterfuck mess of shit. And Ryback, your workhorse, next step up for world title, getting the work in. Mr. Back, you're new. In the shades of the Stone Colds and the Shawn Michaelses and the fucking Shawn Michaelses and the fucking Owen Harts and the Bret Harts and the Chris Jerichos and Edges and the Christians and the Randys and all those Daniel Bryans, the Dolph Zigglers. Any more quality names? We got Ryback, your new Intercontinental champion.
You want to say something, Robert? No? I will skip. We'll skip over him and go straight to me.
Sheamus got screwed.
Gotta get that off of Kristen.
Man, this was all over the place. This was really a mess. I'm not sure. One of the pods broke open from Ziggler getting thrown into
Mark
Henry's
Henry,
pod.
That's right.
And then Mark Henry
Just left.
I didn't know if that was planned. He just kind of popped out, and then he was just like, whatever. And then things got real wonky from there. Wonky?
Wonky. Willy Wonky?
It got
real Willy Wonky up in here.
got real Willy Wonky.
It would have been a lot better if we'd had some chocolates. Or treats.
Chocolates.
It got real Willy Wonky up in here.
Willy
we had
Wonky.
the ability to hashtag, and I had the effort to produce this fucking show. There would be hashtag Willy Wonky up in the corner right now.
Willy Wonky.
But there's not.
Yeah, it was real Willy Wonky.
Willy Wonky.
Hashtag.
That is hashtag Ric Flair real life.
It's never gonna end.
Can we mention the juvenile shirt? This is the portion of the show we can just get our randomness out. Let's get this juvenile shirt over. 400 fucking degrees. Goodwill, ladies and gents. It is a gold mine.
$2.
Gold mine. I got a Mike Vick jersey that fits me like a glove. I rock that shit on the reg in the fall time. Whatever sentence I was trying to say there. That's solid shit. Cash money.
Cash money
Up
records.
in this biz niche.
Yeah, cash money.
So, how was dinner?
Slow motion for me.
I know
like
that.
'em.
I actually know that song.
Like them real fat. 6 rolls on the back. 2 pizzas for a snack.
Let's stop.
Rub lotion
Just
on me.
stop.
Rub lotion on me.
So, in the end, this was hashtag Willy Wonky. This
The
was not
food
good.
was better than this
This
match.
was not good.
Yeah, this was...
It just was not good.
In all honesty, I'm trying to
sucked.
think of a worse chamber. The only one I can think of is the ECW one.
No, this is the worst
There's
one ever.
a
Right back
couple
winning the
lackluster,
fucking
but I mean,
title.
even the ones through
I
like
can't even think of one spot in this match that was just
Right
like...
back won the
no,
fucking
the only
title.
thing I can remember is the fucking the cage getting or the pod getting knocked out for Henry. And he came out and just walked out, and then
I'm in the match
Sheamus holding his fucking little thing in the damn
Oh, his
in
necklace?
the chamber.
I can't
And then
even
the
think-
end spots. That was it. With just Sheamus and Ryback just beating the shit out of each other on
just
the
dropping
outside.
each other on the grates.
Just dropping each other just on their fucking heads.
So bad.
Oh,
Bad.
and yeah, so that was unfortunate.
That happened.
But Mr.
Ladies and
Back,
gentlemen, that
new
happened.
Intercontinental workhorse hard ass
Piece of shit, right back.
Mr. Back.
Mr. Back.
Sheamus got screwed.
God, you can't get that over enough.
no, I can't.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate. We had the Money in the Bank ladder match announced between this and the main event. Already announced with the competitors in here. As Robert said, there was always already the announcement of the rematch between Kevin Owens and John Cena. Great to hear that. And we already had the Money in the Bank ladder match announced with Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler, Neville, Kofi Kingston, Sheamus, and Roman Reigns. So that should be some great stuff. We got a
Predictions
lot
now,
of-
guys. Predictions now.
It's too early.
It's too early. If you had to go with somebody, probably Reigns.
Yeah,
I mean,
Reigns.
if you had to really narrow it down, probably Reigns. But Yeah, a lot of talent in there. You got your big names in the Ortons and the Sheamus and the Reigns. You got your quality spot guys in a Ziggler, Neville, and Kingston. So I mean, you have a really
Neville and Kingston.
You have really quality setup there. That should be some really good stuff. I mean, you have, like I said, you got a lot of. You don't have a lot of guys that are really going to be in the way. I mean, you have guys that are really useful in there, and you have a lot of guys that can produce some great spots. So should be a good one there. Coming up in 2 weeks on Quaddy's birthday, June 14th. So definitely be looking forward to that, as we always are for Money in the Bank. This now led into the main event for the WWE World Championship between champion Seth Rollins. By the way, may I mention, if this night ended the way that this title match first ended, you would have had a completely different J-Man on this review. May I mention that?
We've seen this J-Man before.
Still going to fucking shit on a lot of portion of what happened at the end of this, though.
You gotta get his name right. Get his name right.
We had the WWE World Championship line, which championed the architect, Seth Rollins. Does he just build houses? I just wonder if he could build houses, too, with the amazing...
No, he designs
the immense talents.
He's the architect of his mind.
He's the architect.
He masturbates his
He's architect of a dream. He doesn't even use anything. He's just like...
How do you masturbate your brain?
Masturbate your brain? He just like rubs his head like... He's just like...
Just like doing math problems?
He goes into Cerebro for X-Men and he just kind of puts that thing on that...
I just concocted a plan. Oh, God. I'll have 12 plans in my head.
I think he has some sort of Cerebro device that he uses X-Men style and just goes in like Professor X and puts that thing on his head and just goes off into the architect land of his brain, of his mind. He is the architect of a dream, ladies and gentlemen. He is the World Heavyweight Champion.
AOD.
Seth Rollins. I don't know what that means. Going up against Dean Ambrose.
Architect of a dream?
Oh, never mind. I thought you...
AOAD. Architect of a dream.
What did you first say?
AOD.
AOD. Architect of Dream. I thought you were meaning some sort of other reference that I wasn't going to get and I wasn't going to comprehend. We had Seth Rollins going up against Dean Ambrose for the WWE World Championship here. Quality work. We knew what was going to be happening towards the tail end of this matchup. We had the fucking segment with Ambrose and Reigns doing their whole, yeah, we're still buddies. And having Tripp come out. I think might have bronchitis. He's feeling a little raspy. Unfortunate for Tripp's. Feeling a little raspy. He may have just had so much semen come out of him after the fucking Owens Cena match that he's just like, vomiting and jizzing all at the same time. But he felt a little parched, so I needed some water, a lozenge, maybe. A Ricola. Maybe Claudio could have brought him a Ricola.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so we knew this was going to be some shenanigans towards the tail end of this, with Roman Reigns obviously going to be coming out. You had all the bullshit with the Three Stooges of fucking Mercury, Nitro and Melina. Mercury,
not the Three Stooges.
Noble and Kane out there.
Kane is the Big Red Lapdog.
Gotcha. I want to say lobster. Big Red Lobster.
Big Red Lapdog.
Big Red Lobster Kane. That'll now be his name. I could just envision Kane loving to go to Red Lobster. I think he indulges whenever he goes to Red Lobster. He at least eats 3 of those Cheddar Bay biscuits. You know he loves those.
3 baskets probably.
3 baskets?
Oh,
he might die if he does that. I mean, those guys got 1,000 cows in one of those sons of bitches.
I can just see him sitting there and just being like...
He's by himself.
Like, sir, we already gave you 2 baskets. Do you know I'm Hell's favorite demon? I need another basket of biscuits.
You know how many baskets I can eat, motherfucker?
Do you see me?
I'm the devil's favorite demon.
Do you see my hairline?
I'm the Big Red Lapdog.
Do you think I give a shit?
He's just in there in his suit and tie, just eating Cheddar Bay biscuits all day on the reg. Just in there at 11:30 on a Sunday. Just solid cane work and Red Lobster. Fuck! Woo!
Think he wears his mask when he eats biscuits?
It's gotta get in the way. It's gotta get in. Which one? Does he wear the 98 one with the fucking little hole where he just shoves just biscuits in the little
No, he rips pieces out.
Shoving the biscuits in the little hole. This is the only way I eat biscuits.
He's like, goddamn, I feel like Darth Vader trying to eat right now. Just shoving. It's like just trying to shove a letter in a mailbox. Just not working at all. Fuck. So we knew the shenanigans was going to happen towards the tail end with Roman Reigns, obviously, predictably coming out here. But we had solid work up until then. I mean, this went for what, 20 fucking minutes? Something like that? I don't know, 15?
No, 22.
Thanks, Captain Official over here. Went 22 minutes. So you had a solid work of about 17 minutes, can we say?
16.
Between these two. Obviously, work well together. But again, just kind of, you had the dead crowd. You had the already great moment of the night. You knew it wasn't going to get topped. It wasn't going to happen. And yeah, just kind of had a dead crowd. We were just kind of for it. We're really looking forward to it. I thought it could be some good stuff. It was good for the portion that it had, but we just knew what it was going to get to. It wasn't going to have anything clean. It was going to have continuation of bullshit. And I just, God damn it. Just, the booking at the end of this fucking match. The booking of the World Championship since WrestleMania has been, bar none, some of the worst booked shit we have seen for a World Championship in a very long time.
Worse than Vince Russo stuff.
I have never seen so much overbooking around such superior talent that doesn't need any of it. These guys don't need any fucking help. Go out there. Let them do their shit like we know they can do. Don't put any bullshit with it. Don't fuck it up. And that's what you continue to do with superior talent. You did it with fucking Rollins and Randy, and now you're doing it with fucking Rollins and Ambrose. Why? Just fucking why? We said it on the last review. Why can't the motherfucker beat you, be a cocky fucking heel, and beat you because he's smarter and because he's better? Why? Why can faces beat you because they're better and they're smarter? Why can't heels fucking do it? They just don't let them. God damn it. And the booking of this fucking into this goddamn title match, having the shenanigans where the ref gets knocked out, got kneed in the fucking head. You had Ambrose do some sort of hunky-dory shit. I think Rollins went for the Phoenix. He missed it. Got out of that. Dirty deeds. Middle of the ring. And you had at least 10 seconds before the goddamn second ref could run his stupid ass down to the fucking ring to make the fucking 3 count in the middle of the goddamn ring after taking all of that fucking time to get there and pin the champion fucking right in the middle of the damn ring. Just, god damn it. I mean, they cannot fucking do anything worse to Seth Rollins. They can't fucking... He doesn't need the fucking help. He doesn't need the bullshit. He doesn't need the shenanigans. Let him go out there and do what he does best, which is be the fucking best. I mean, he is bar none one of the most talented and spectacular fucking performers you have in the wrestling industry. And you put bullshit around him, and it takes it away from him. Nobody, unless you're like us, which fucking few people in the world probably are, you have to look at it at a standpoint that, okay, when you go out there, it's all reflective on who it is. It's reflective, okay, he's a massive fucking bitch, he has to use all this help, and we all know that he doesn't fucking need it, but yet he continues to fucking get it. I just don't understand why they have to do... There's so much talent in this fucking match, and what they had before with Randy, too, and... They just can't... I can't remember a cocky fucking heel champion that they have treated this much like a fucking bitch. I can't fucking remember. They did it to Edge, another guy who didn't need it, but he played off it well and made it into a fucking dynamic character, and made it into something special and something that is fucking... Why he's in the goddamn Hall of Fame right now on top of all the other great shit that he did before that. Edge.
He's in the Hall of Fame?
That's what I said. They put him in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Stuff like the Rated R character. Stuff like the Ultimate Opportunist thing and everything that he did to, hold on to championships and win championships that made him unique but didn't make him come off like a bitch. Because that's what they're doing to Seth Rollins, and they're not pulling it off. And I can say right now that they are booking him as one of the worst booked fucking world champions that we have seen in a really long time, and a guy that absolutely doesn't need any fucking help. You don't have to book anything. Put him out there, make him be let him be the flawless fucking athlete that he is and competitor that he is, and let him go out there and awe people, and let him go out there and beat people because he's fucking better than them. That's all you gotta fucking do. And make people come out there each and every fucking night, and make fans come back and every single night wanting somebody to beat him, and they just can't because he's better. Sorry. Look at the motherfucker. Look at what the motherfucker does. I don't give a shit. Just goddamn it. The fucking booking of this pissed me off so fucking much. And if they'd have kept it that way, it makes everybody involved just look like a massive fucking bitch. But then they just go ahead and do it and just turn it into even worse booking and then take it away. And then Seth Rollins ejaculates all over himself and has his eyes bulge out of his fucking head. Shit his pants all at the fucking same time. And you had Roman Reigns come out here and stroke his fucking dick on everything involved and do his fucking little spiel and whatever the fuck. And have him and Ambrose go probably jerk each other off simultaneously at the fucking bar they're going to have drinks at. What the fuck ever. And Ambrose taking the championship, and Seth Rollins with no injuries shown or nothing problematic with his situation, just letting him take his championship away. Because Seth Rollins is a bitch. And that's what we have to get over. Thank you. for treating a guy that doesn't need to be fucking treated anywhere like that. God damn it. Seth Rollins still your world champion after bitchy fucking means and bullshit fucking means and just god damn it. Just god damn it, Robert. God damn it. God damn it. I have no more drink.
Bork laser.
For Jamie to finish?
Cap didn't come off.
Okay.
I'm done. Go for it.
What this can lead to, hopefully, is fix it by having Seth maybe turn on the Authority because of all the shenanigans.
Not gonna.
That he doesn't like going down that road, that he's better than that he's better than the Authority. I'm just trying to find out why you would book shit this stupid. I mean, it looked legit having Ambrose get the 1, 2, 3 for the title. It was more shock than anything. I was like, okay, Ambrose is champion. Oh,
Outside
okay.
of the fact that it took 35 seconds to get another ref down there.
Well,
and I guess,
actually, it reminded me, was it WrestleMania 24 and Little H came running down the big old long ramp?
yeah, and that led to a kick out.
Yeah. Typically, when the second referee comes out, it leads to a kick out. It's never a 1, 2, 3 at that point. Was Rollins out?
I
maybe?
can't fucking. No, he wasn't out. I can't fucking remember a situation like that has happened.
No.
Where you have a ref knocked out and you have somebody come in for the pin and they don't kick out. Can you? You don't. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
You have the ref get knocked out. You have the face get the whole little run they go on. They get the pin on the heel. They run in and they kick out. Or normally it's the heel doing the work on the face because they knock the ref out. And then the ref comes out for the pin and then the face kicks out and go on their spiel. Wow.
I mean, the fact that they had the first ref come in and then say, okay, yes, Dean Ambrose won, but by DQ, so the title didn't change hands. That came off real awkward, real stupid. Having Ambrose celebrate with the title and go
bitched out both of them.
And
bitched out
exactly.
both of them.
But it's just like, how do you end a freaking world title match like that? Everything that J-Man said and what they've done to Seth Rollins is fucking true. It's bullshit. That Seth Rollins is a quality heel world champion. But if you've seen anything he's done, he's not. That's what makes the Owens win look that much bigger.
Right.
Because everybody's going to see, well, when Seth Rollins came in, this is what happened to him. So when you look at Kevin Owens being heel, people are like, oh, is he going to get bitched out the same way, or is he a better person, better wrestler than Seth Rollins because he's getting clean victories?
And again, how well booked that Owens-Cena match was. Owens beat John Cena because he outfought him. He beat him because like he said that they were going into, they were getting the whole, well, John Cena was saying that Kevin Owens starts fights, but he can't finish fights. He went out there, and that's what he said. I started a fight with John Cena, I finished a fight with John Cena. Why did he do it? Because he outfought him. Whatever you want to say it is, blah, blah, blah. You want to put some spiel on it that makes it, as far as the booking of a wrestling match goes. This, all you have to do with a Seth Rollins, he is, what do you call him? You call him the architect. He's a guy that gets over because of his smarts. He points at his fucking brain every time he does something. He gets over because of that. That's the same thing that Edge did. It's very reminiscent of that character. But on top of that, you have a far superior physical, athletic specimen as a Seth Rollins, because that's what he fucking is. It's what he's always been. Why can't he just beat you because he's better than you? Why?
Because it's WWE booking. For whatever reason, they don't want a heel getting over in the main event. Because they got, what's the last true 1, 2, 3 clean victory by a heel world champion?
On Dean Ambrose. On a Dean Ambrose. Everyone has pinned Dean Ambrose. He went like a year without getting a win on a pay-per-view. And Seth Rollins, the world champion, who conquered over Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, or whatever means you want to say at WrestleMania. He can't beat Dean Ambrose. He can't beat him. Fuck. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the match quality was good. I thought the match was pretty good, except for the shenanigans. I don't really have a problem with Seth Rollins cheating to get his victories or anything like that. The problem
can't you say that it takes away from all of his matches?
Yeah, it does. It takes away.
Well,
it takes away from everything.
Well, here's
Not
the
to
thing.
mention
He's cheating.
I don't care if he's a heel and he cheats to win.
He's not cheating though. It's everybody else getting
That's
involved.
my
to help
issue.
him.
My issue is if it's him in a one-on-one match with Dean Ambrose and Kane and J&J are not out there and Triple H isn't pulling strings and making that storyline.
Right.
If he's just having a match and he pulls a turnbuckle off and he springboards him into the turnbuckle and he hits his head and then he hits his finish.
Right.
Like that's fine.
Well, yeah,
That makes him smarter. That's part of his
Flair
gimmick.
used to do with the low blows and the finger pokes and all that, where he was a heel cheating, but doing behind the referee's back.
And
he wasn't having people run in and doing shit and just let him stand going, okay,
Yeah.
bitch me out, go ahead.
Because that's the thing. I mean, that's what you had with, Monday, where it was like, oh, Ambrose couldn't even sign the damn contract because you had 15 million people guarding the contract to get it signed because they're so scared that they're going to beat Seth Rollins. That's the whole gimmick. Or the whole the story on last week's Raw was 3 hours of them trying to keep away Dean Ambrose from signing a contract because they're scared he's going to beat Seth Rollins. That's the problem I'm saying. That's where you're portraying your own champion that you put out there as a bitch. He's too scared to have someone sign a contract to face him, let alone be in the match with him already. I mean, God damn.
So next month, do we get this again? Or in 2 weeks?
I think they do another match, yeah.
Yeah, I think they do another
They
match.
almost have to. But
I think it has to be. There just has to be some kind of middle ground. J&J has to be barred. Kane has to be gone. Something along those lines. And the thing is, I had zero issue with Dean Ambrose winning.
Yeah, I agree. I was
And
okay
the
with
thing
it.
was, when he won, I was like, nobody was like hooting and hollering like the Owens win. Everyone was just kind of sitting there like, what?
Yeah, Ambrose
Because at first, obviously, I thought it was he just won. I in the back of my head, I didn't even think about whenever Rollins pulled the referee in his way and Ambrose jumped on him, and then one ref saying, hey, he's DQ'd. Ambrose did win, but he won by disqualification, and he retained. And Ambrose, the pin wasn't relevant then, and it made sense with the booking there. But it was bullshit.
But yeah, what you're saying is you were okay with the way that match would have went once Dean Ambrose pinned him, and having it where the referee came all the way out and finally got the pin on him that way.
No, I think it would have been fine if it wouldn't have ended with him pulling the ref and knocking the ref out, because it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. The ref being knocked out didn't make sense at first.
Well, no, it did.
Then when he got the pin, Then we got the pin.
Right.
I was like, okay, well, I don't understand why the ref got knocked out, and then it made sense later. But if the ref didn't get knocked out and Ambrose just won. If it was
booked properly.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with Ambrose winning. They changed it or whatever.
Even if he would have kicked out when that referee first came down and then had a pin, it'd been different. But the fact you let a referee run down while he's pinning the guy's already sitting there. Come on, hurry,
yeah.
hurry.
They need to not make him and that is an issue though. They're making Rollins. He's straight bitch mode.
Nikki Bella's getting better pins than Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
They have to. I don't know why they don't give him that clean. Maybe they just want to make him unbelievably hated by the fans. They want him to be the character he's playing. You know what I mean? He can get in the ring
already.
He can get in the ring and back up his work or whatever. But they want to make him that bitch heel. They've never really had it to where a guy's seen this much issue with getting wins and not wanting to fight anybody.
Regardless.
I remember Triple H doing stuff like this when he was champion, where he would have Evolution help him cheat and stuff. But at the same time, I just don't remember
when Evolution was around, Triple H was already a champion. Everybody already knew how
not
good
that,
he
but
was.
it was showing that I have a group. I use it to my advantage. I'm smarter. I use it for this. That blah 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 blah. But you don't have, and you had a Randy Orton coming in there. You had a Batista coming in there. Not Joey fucking Mercury coming in there.
Jerry Noble.
God damn. Why can't he be booked like Chris Jericho was and his smart fucking heel character where he outdid people, he outwitted people, and he was just better than them as far as a performer goes. Why can't he be like that, like a Chris Jericho, like he was world champion?
All right, hold on.
Why?
Who's the number one talent in WWE right now? Seth Rollins.
As far as talent goes,
Yes.
I would probably say Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. So why do you have your top guy, your world champion, the number one guy in your company, winning matches with help?
Well, all this says to me is
Somebody's booking shit wrong.
Well, I think a quality world title run. It's not going to be like this every time a Seth Rollins is going to be world champion. Once he ever turns face, his face world title runs are going to be where it's at, and that's going to be where the things are at. Maybe this is just not the way to have it to where a Seth Rollins is going to be world champion. The heel runs of a Seth Rollins, as world champion. If this is how it's going to be booked, sadly, I don't even want to fucking see it because you're not even portraying who he is as a talent. You're bitching him out. Left and right, and nobody wants to see a fucking title match with him anymore because you know what's going to happen in the throughout the fucking whole match. Screw the fucking last 2 minutes. You know what's going to happen throughout the whole fucking match. It's going to be interference left and right. It's going to be bullshits left and right. It's going to be fucking cheap fucking heel shit left and right. And it's going to be some bullshit towards the end of it that's going to get him the fucking cheap fucking win. That's just what happens. And it's really fucking unfortunate that it's booked that way, but, we can't change anything. We can just say how much bullshit it is, because, quite frankly, it is. But Seth Rollins, you're still your world champion without his title because you just let Dean Ambrose run away with it. Yeah. But yeah, we'll probably continue going on to Money in the Bank. Who knows? They'll probably add a gimmick towards it, whatever the case may be.
I quit.
Yeah. This was all about one match and one match alone. Kevin Owens, John Cena, great stuff. If you have not checked it out,
Can that main event Money in the Bank?
Find a way to check that out because this is definitely worth checking out. It was an absolute classic, and we will not forget it for a very long time. But yeah, I guess we could stop rambling on and get the fuck out of here. So now wrap up for WWE Elimination Chamber 2015 review for my partners Robert and Ryan. I am J-Man, and thank you for watching another edition of Wrestling Pulse, the Pulse, Professional Wrestling World.